CrossroadsToday.com. A new bill in the Texas House could bring big changes to a local university. And more government cuts are impacting local food banks. Those details are coming up. Plus, in the wake of a United Healthcare CEO killing, more executives are being targeted. More just ahead.
And I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard about this, but we've got a total lunar eclipse coming our way overnight, late tonight. But after that's all said and done, well, we're right back to the dangerous fire weather this weekend. All alert dates are up. All that weather coming up.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and happy Thursday/Friday Eve.
Friday Eve. Tomorrow's Friday.
Parker likes to say.
That's right. And coming away this weekend, it's going to be another warm one, so get ready for it.
I'm going to get sunblock, the bug spray.
Yeah,
the landlord's already spraying around the apartment.
That's right.
We got to get ready for all the life to come back.
That's right. I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen those mayflies, or mosquito hawks as some people like to call them. They are everywhere, and they're actually here a couple months early. It's March, not May. They're here very early. And why is that? Well, looking live in Victoria, it's humid out there and also a little bit warm right now. 67 degrees is the temperature. Maybe I could actually just a tad bit cool, I might say. But dew point is 66, 1 degree off from that temperature, bringing that humidity to that high 97%. And that is high enough for you to know exactly what? Fog. We have some of that around our counties this morning, and actually it is most dense right now in our northwestern counties. And I've been in contact with the National Weather Service all morning long, telling them of reports, and they have just recently issued special weather statements for our northwestern counties, for these 4 counties right here. Everybody else is not under any advisories, but we do have a little bit of fog, so make sure to be extremely careful if you're traveling this morning. Otherwise, like I said, just a tad bit chilly across some parts of Texas, 50s, but down at the Crossroads, we are all in the low, mid, and even upper 60s with that warm air mass coming back over us. So if you're sending your kiddos out the door this morning, like I said, cool and humid right now, but it's going to be bipolar opposite in the afternoon, very warm and dry. All of those details coming up next.
The University of Houston Victoria may soon be joining another university system. State Senator for District 18 Lois Clokhorst filed a bill to have UHV become part of the Texas A&M University system. The bill states that if it is passed, UHV would then become Texas A&M University Victoria. UHV has been part of the University of Houston system since its first semester in the spring of 1973. It became a 4-year university in 2010. The Calhoun County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in finding a missing teen. Dean Gordillo was seen around 4 p.m. Monday near Calhoun High School and the McDonald's in Port Lavaca. The 17-year-old was wearing a black hoodie with the words, "No hustle, no muscle." Dean is 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighs about 140 pounds with a slim build. If you have any information or if you've seen the teen, you're asked to contact the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office or dial 911. Nearly $1 billion in funding to support schools and local food banks have been cut. The USDA has cut funding for 2 programs that help food banks and schools buy food from local farmers. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley has more on how this could impact local efforts to feed those in need.
USDA has cut $1 billion in funding that would allow food banks to purchase food from local farmers. About $660 million of those funds supported schools and child care facilities. The rest were part of the Local Food Purchase Assistance Cooperative Agreement Program, which provided funds to local food banks and other organizations. Locally, the president of the Food Bank of the Golden Crescent, Robin Cato, says the food bank had to apply for the grant and she wasn't expecting to budget any of these funds for operating expenses.
We're going to provide for those in need. Like our mission here is helping heal the heart of hunger. We'll continue doing that regardless of what happens.
The Food Bank of the Golden Crescent serves 11 counties and provides food assistance to over 40,000 people a month. Between 2023 and 2024, there was an increase of 2 million pounds of food distributed across 11 counties.
We're still seeing the increase, and we'll continue to see that until, groceries level out.
She says that she was looking forward to that grant, but isn't reliant on the grant. She still plans to carry out her mission.
Everyone that works here is doing this because they care about other people.
The Food Bank of the Golden Crescent remains steadfast in its mission, relying on community support to feed those in need. Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
In a statement from the Region 3 Education Service Center, officials there are unsure how the cuts could impact local school and daycare programs, but are actively monitoring the situation. Congress is getting closer to a potential government shutdown Friday night. A continuing resolution House Republicans passed needs Democratic support to clear the Senate. Democrats are holding out for concessions aimed at reining in DOJ's spending cuts. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says his party has enough votes to block the continuing resolution, but Democrats don't want to shut down either. Republicans are refusing to support Democrats' stopgap plan. A government shutdown could be a blow to the U.S. economy. Now to New Jersey, where police are investigating whether a high-profile executive was targeted, part of a disturbing trend.
This morning, authorities are investigating a suspected arson attack at the home of a Bayer Pharmaceutical executive. The company, famous for aspirin and Aleve and for its merger with Monsanto, maker of the controversial weed killer Roundup. Firefighters in Madison, New Jersey, quickly put out the fire with no significant damage and no reported injuries. It comes amid an increase in threats against high-profile executives after the arrest of Luigi Mangione and December's killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
I think people are frustrated and they see a way to release their frustration by going after, for example, CEOs for not them personally, but what they represent.
The Homeland Security Department says individuals mobilized by economic grievances are using the murder of a health insurance CEO as inspiration for threats and attack plotting, expanding their target set to include government and public safety officials.
So does this person have some sort of grievance against Bayer, products they make?
The healthcare industry on alert. Violent incidents targeting not only executives, but healthcare workers have increased more than 60% in recent years. United Healthcare is now paying police to patrol its Minnesota headquarters almost daily. Our affiliate KSTP spoke to a security expert.
Do you think this was a wake-up call for corporations here and around the country?
Absolutely, yeah. They, especially for executives at every level, to make sure that they have a security plan.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
New details on the arrest of a Victoria ISD employee on child sexual abuse charges. A grand jury indicted 53-year-old Carlos Cáceres this month on felony charges of the sexual assault of a child, indecency with a child causing sexual contact, and indecency with a child causing exposure. An arrest warrant was issued Tuesday afternoon. Less than 15 minutes later, he was arrested at Cade Middle School. Cáceres worked in the Victoria ISD maintenance department since 2022. The incidents involved two children, one in June of 2021 and the other in September of 2023. And here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. Calhoun County District Clerk Anna Cabela retires, and the Port Lavaca Police Department gets new trailer radars. You can read these stories and more at portlavacawave.com. Remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. The time is now 6:39 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A lunar eclipse is set to take place tonight. We have the details.
More nations are retaliating against President Trump's tariffs. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with details as the global trade war escalates.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast for today, we are waiting on that strong dry line to pass through, making it mighty dry. And it will also, because it's mighty dry, it will be mighty warm. All those details coming up next. Well, good morning, Crossroads. You're looking live in foggy Cuero. You can actually see just how bad the fog is that I was talking about earlier in our northwestern counties. Right now, we're looking at visibility in Cuero, at least on this camera, down to less than 500 feet. So that is enough for me to say make sure to be extremely careful if y'all be traveling this morning in our counties. Well, actually, with it being so foggy, I had to let the Weather Service, National Weather Service, know that it's so foggy out there this morning. And within about an hour, they finally put up special weather statements for our northwestern counties. So just be careful. But 59 right now to start of the day in Cuero, and that dew point is matching that, which is bringing us the fog. But today, it's going to be it's actually going to be a warm day today. So y'all get a water bottle and keep that handy humidity on you today. Looking at your temperatures, actually, by noontime already in the low 80s. But in the afternoon, well, we're going to warm up even more. I'm thinking low 90s today. I'm thinking 92 for the high today in Victoria. I'm actually thinking 93 for the high in Cuero. And I'm actually thinking 86 for the high today in Port Lavaca. Before overnight tonight, under some clouds that will be picking up. And don't worry, we're going to look at that eclipse forecast coming up after this because there's an eclipse coming tonight. But underneath those partly cloudy skies, we're going to be looking at lows dropping to the low and mid 60s. Before tomorrow, well, it's another warm one in the low 90s. Even our western counties might hit the mid 90s, if you believe that, at mid-March. Bit of a scorcher if you ask me. And why is it so warm out there? If you're asking me that, it's because yesterday we were in the low and mid 80s. Well, coming away at about about noontime, actually, maybe the late morning, 11 a.m., we're going to have a strong dry line that'll pass through. You just saw that right there. That is going to plummet our humidity, and with lower humidity values, that is going to allow the air to warm up faster due to low specific heat. Now, going into tonight, though, that southerly wind is going to kick right back in, and it's going to bring right back our humidity back to about 100% for some areas, and you know what that means. More patchy fog is possible tonight, but then the westerly wind will kick back in going into tomorrow, and that will bring back the dry conditions. But today, it's not going to be breezy, gust up to maybe 10 or 15 at times, but tomorrow it will be. And it will also be breezy again on Saturday and again on Sunday, and that is exactly why we have alert days up for Friday all the way through Sunday for all of our counties. We're going to be experiencing some fire weather. Humidity very, very low and gusty winds up to 25-30 miles an hour, so make sure to be careful, discouraging any kind of burning until next week when the nicer weather returns, and we'll look at all that coming up next.
This morning, Canada and the European Union retaliate against the president's steel and aluminum tariffs by imposing new taxes on many American products. It comes as new polling shows how Americans feel about these new tariffs and the state of the economy overall.
This morning, major trading partners hitting back at President Trump's increased tariffs on aluminum and steel imports. Overnight, new Canadian tariffs on American products took effect, impacting everything from steel and aluminum to computers and sporting goods. The European Union also vowing to raise tariffs on American beef, bourbon, and motorcycles next month. President Trump not backing down.
I'm not happy with the European Union, I want to tell you, and we're going to win that.
It comes after Trump imposed sweeping 25% tariffs on aluminum and steel imports on Wednesday. The European Union then retaliating with tariffs on up to $28 billion of U.S. goods.
Canada is not the one driving up the cost of your groceries or of your gasoline. Canada is not the one that is ultimately starting this war. President Trump's tariffs against you are causing that. And there are no winners in a trade war.
The back and forth causing chaos and uncertainty for consumers and many small business owners, including Jeff Quint, who owns a distillery in Iowa.
The bourbon industry is going to be collateral damage in this tariff war. I don't really think there's any way around that.
And he's not alone. A new CNN SSRS poll shows 61% of Americans disapprove of the president's handling of tariffs, and 56% say they do not approve of how he's handled the economy overall. But the president dismissed those concerns.
On tariffs, there's been a lot of on and off, some inconsistency.
It's not called inconsistency, it's called flexibility.
A majority of Americans polled also felt that Elon Musk does not have the experience or judgment to change how the government works, and that the administration's cuts to the federal government will go too far in cutting key programs. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
March's full moon is called the Worm Moon, and it's extra special because it will be a total lunar eclipse, the first in nearly 3 years to be visible across the U.S. This Friday, March 14th, the moon will look like a striking red color. A total eclipse happens when the moon is full and aligns perfectly with the sun and earth. Unlike a total solar eclipse, the celestial event doesn't require special eyewear. And here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. A copy of the book History of DeWitt County 1899 is given to Cuero Junior High, and a DeWitt County livestock competitor takes her showing to the next level. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. And the time is now 6:46 on our Thursday morning. Still to come on Sunrise. Mortgage demand surged last week. We have the numbers. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Christian. Happy 5th birthday, Christian, from Mommy and Daddy. We love you.
Oh, look at that sweet picture. Happy birthday, Christian. And also happy birthday to Christopher. Victoria's miracle baby was not to live past 3 years old, but he's now 41 today. Happy birthday to Christopher. My son is a great man.
And happy birthday to Marisol. Happy birthday, best friend. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Everyone from the salon loves you.
Oh, happy birthday, Marisol. And also happy birthday to Travis. Happy birthday, Travis. Hope you have a great day.
And happy birthday to Grammy Award-winning Common. The actor and rapper is 53.
Happy birthday, Common. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, just head on over to crossroadstoday.com. Click the drop-down menu, then click the home tab, and then you'll see submit your birthday photo.
And the time is now 6:47 on our Thursday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right. Happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure what's on a lot of y'all's minds is what's coming away tonight, a total lunar eclipse, or at least it should be on your mind because it's going to be one of those kind of really rare kind of events in your life that you won't see too often. Coming away tonight, it's going to be a total lunar eclipse, and what that means, it's not just a regular eclipse, it's going to be a total, which means that the moon will turn red, as you can see right there on your screen. And actually, a little fun fact, the moon will be turning red from 1:26 in the morning to 2:31, which is pretty late. So today, I have a weather poll up for just that. Today, I want to know, will you be awake to watch the lunar eclipse late tonight? And it looks like 38% of y'all are now saying yes, you will, and a majority of y'all are probably going to be asleep by that time. Majority of y'all, 62%, are saying no. But continue voting on our future weather polls by going to crossroadstoday.com/voteweather, and thank y'all for voting for today. But looking at your eclipse, like I said, from 1:26 to 2:31 is when the totality will happen. I know it says totality is at 1:58, but that's going to be the maximum. That's when the moon is at its most red tint. But from 1:26 to 2:31 in the morning is when the moon will be right in front of the Earth's umbra, which is the darkest shadow from Earth, and it will appear red. So from that time to that time, for about an hour long. So, but what is also on everybody's mind is this: will the clouds come back? That's going to be a big hamper on our day if we can't, or on our night, if we have clouds tonight. So looking at your satellite, what's going on out there is we have an upper level low pressure system that is coming onshore over the western coast of California. That system alone is starting to increase the jet stream, the Pacific jet stream, over into West Texas, and you can see that it's starting to slowly encroach eastward into our area, and that's exactly what is going to pick up the clouds for tonight. You can see that right here in your future clouds of radar for today, Thursday, daytime. It's going to be sunny all day long. Get that sunscreen out. But tonight, here comes the clouds. Like I said, sometime after midnight, clouds will start picking up. And sometime here, like I said, about 1:58 is going to be the maximum time, but 1:30 to about 2:30. You can see we do have a little bit of cloud cover, but I'm going to guess partly cloudy skies and good viewing weather. But send us those pictures. We'll have more on that later on Sunrise.
Mortgage demand surged 11% last week as rates continue to fall. The Mortgage Bankers Association's seasonally adjusted index shows total mortgage applications rose 11.2% week to week. That comes as the average interest rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage fell from 6.73% to 6.67%. The rate was 17 points lower than the same week 1 year ago. New mortgage applications rose 7% for the week and were 4% higher than last year. Refinance applications were also up 16% from the previous week and 90% higher than a year ago. And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We want to know, do you own or rent your living space? All right, let's take a look. 81% of you say you own and 19% of you say you rent. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. The Texas Senate unanimously passed a bill from State Senator District 18, Lois Clokhorst. The bill requires food labels to warn Texas consumers which ingredients are banned in other countries starting in 2027. Senator Clokhorst's bill also requires daily physical education for students from kindergarten to 8th grade, and it requires nutrition education for students in Texas high schools and institutions of higher learning, along with updated nutrition training for all Texas medical workers. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. The Department of Veteran Affairs eliminates one of its offices. Breaking this morning, Russian forces have driven the Ukrainian army out of the biggest town in Russia's Kursk border region. This happening as U.S. officials sought the Kremlin's response to a proposed 30-day ceasefire endorsed by Ukraine. The Russian Defense Ministry claims it recaptured the town of Suja. Ukrainian officials made no immediate comment on the claim. An office that helps minority veterans has been eliminated by the Department of Veteran Affairs. A VA spokesperson says the Office of Equity Assurance is no longer needed. The office helped minority veterans with disparities in how the government provides benefits. It was created under President Joe Biden. The move has drawn criticism from some lawmakers and veterans. An explosion at a Texas university prompted evacuations Wednesday. Officials say an explosion at a substation caused power outages on campus. The City of Lubbock Fire Rescue Department says it responded to multiple fires. Video of the scene showed bright green and yellow flames shooting out from a manhole cover. Portions of the campus were evacuated, and the campus will close the rest of the week. A former employee is once again blowing the whistle on Meta's culture. In a new book called Careless People, former executive Sarah Wynne Williams details her 6 years at the company until she was fired in 2017. It offers an insider perspective into some of Facebook's most controversial moments, including its role in President Donald Trump's 2016 election campaign. In her book, she implied she was fired in retaliation for reporting sexual harassment. Meta has pushed back against these accusations. The Texas legislature has tried to clamp down on renewable energy resources in the past, but many lawmakers are recognizing the need to support all types of generation to meet record demand growth. Read the story by the Texas Tribune on CrossroadsToday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a look at a dark sunrise. As we get through the year, though, it's going to get brighter and brighter, isn't it, Parker?
That's right. Over the next month or so, the sun will start coming up earlier in the morning, but right now you're looking live in Port Lavaca. Like Carolina said, it's still dark out there, and I don't know why the station's not working, but y'all are starting out the day at about 68 right now in Port Lavaca. A bit of a warm out there, and if you thought that was warm, well, it's going to be a warm day today. So fishers and boaters, if y'all will be going out to the bays today, grab a water bottle and keep it with you today. Smooth waves out there, nice and light winds out there, and your high tide's going to be this evening, low tide in the early afternoon. Water temperatures are back in the mid-70s, and air temperatures, like I said, a bit warmer around the bays. 86 for the high today in Port Lavaca, underneath that beaming Texas sun. A little bit warmer in Victoria. I'm thinking 92 for today, and warmer than that in Cuero. You can see we're dealing with some dense fog at Cuero this morning, so make sure to be careful if you're traveling, but 93 for the high today. And we're going to be another warm day tomorrow in the low 90s before we have a weak front that comes through on Friday night. But this weekend, ultimately, I want y'all to be extremely safe with the fire weather that will be around the Crossroads. Alert day is already up.
Yes, it will not be so fire.
Yes, please do not burn down the county, please.
All right, we'll join Shauna, Don, Maclovio, and Max tonight for 25 News at 5, 6, and 10. Have a great Thursday.